being prepared as a homemaker for life now, as a mother, as a wife, and as a caregiver of this space is important. But I also think it's important to be prepared for what the future may bring. So today I am sharing a couple days of my life and how I prepare for the moments and the weeks and the months, but how I also prepare in a sense of what life can bring. To be honest, the best way to prepare myself for the day, for the week, for the year, and for whatever life has in store for us is reading scripture, highlighting it, memorizing it, taking time to just delve into it and stick it into my head. So that is how I start my morning. After physical activity outside of a walk and some strength training, which is also important to prepare our bodies physically for the day's task, I will delve into God's word and meditate on his scripture. I am a big proponent of making healthy homemade snacks and breakfasts, and I make homemade slow cooker Greek yogurt weekly for my family. The recipe is on my blog, daviekillian.com, but it's a great way to have a preparation made for good, full nutrition and fat, protein snack for the kids, for yourself. I'm a pregnant mama of 3 and going to be 4, so I really appreciate having nutritious, filling, full of all the health benefits snacks. And slow cooker Greek yogurt, I've done it for years, is one of those things that I always have on hand. Cleaning. When it comes to cleaning, I make my own DIY cleaner. That's also on my blog. It is just very simple. Distilled white vinegar, purified water, lemon essential oil, or I think citrus would work, or if you want lavender, whatever you're feeling. But having that on hand, I'm always wiping up spills on the floor, potty, whatever else tracks into the house, or wiping counters, whatever it may be. To gardening. So it is still gardening and planting season. It's end of May when I am filming this. So we are in zone 4B, which means we can still be planting some things. It's not always that hot yet. And so I have a stash of seeds I've collected throughout the years, and I would like to start seed saving. I think that would be great to have for the future for sure, as you know, situations can be unaware in life and we don't know, but having a little sense of preparedness with gardening. I love gardening, and this is our aquaponics system. So aquaponics is the mixture of hydroponics and fish farming. So my little boys buy the fish tanks there, and I am planting in our grow beds. It doesn't require any weeding, which is nice. You plant your seeds into the rocks or your plants without dirt, and they grow for you as the fish feces nourishes the plants. And so that's how it works. And then you can eventually harvest the fish. We just have too short of a growing season in our zone to be able to let our fish grow a lot. So the fish mainly are there for fun to have. We usually get some goldfish, but they're also there to help nourish our plants. And knowing how to garden in different ways, I think, is really important. Gardening is one of the best ways to prepare for food for your family, to prepare for future things that may occur where we can't buy fresh produce from a store. So I'm an avid proponent of just having even a small backyard garden or a few pots of some fresh herbs and greens and maybe tomato, cucumber, something like that. But getting started in gardening, if you never have, would be a great way to just be prepared for your family with fresh eating. And I also have other areas where I garden too. So I have some metal raised beds, some in-ground gardening, and then of course my flowers, which honestly, that's just preparing my heart for joy. I love flowers and cottage style gardens and just the whimsy. There are herbs in many of my cottage style gardens, and just knowing what those herbs can do for you with health is also something that I find value in. But then again, there's just the beauty of a climbing rose and bringing joy to my heart and to my family, and a wonderful aroma. In the summer months, we do a lot of fruit, veggies, crackers, cheese, meats. And so just being prepared with those items in our fridge is important, so that since we've been outside, we can quickly grab what we need to make a healthy, nutritious lunch, but also something that is easy to get our hands on. And also making homemade ranch dressing is one of our favorite things. So I just use sour cream, a little bit of our milk, and this Azure Standard ranch dressing powder that I have really enjoyed having on hand. My kiddos enjoy ranch, but I want to have it a little more nutritious this way. So just a meat spread on some salad, some veggies, a few crackers, simple. And here I am just finishing up an Azure order. So I really enjoy buying from Azure Standard. I've talked about them many times before, so if you're interested, just check the description box to see if it would suit your needs. But you can buy in bulk, you can buy fresh, and I have been stocking up a little bit on some of our bulk grains, some of the bulk peanut butter and honey and coconut oil, and just things even that I use on a day-to-day. So we have a smaller little larder in our basement where I do store my dry goods and my canned goods, and I enjoy just being able to go down, scoop out my oats to restock my small little pantry area upstairs in our kitchen. And so just having the supply on hand is so nice. We live in a small town anyway, so I'm not going to run to the grocery store to go buy a bag of rolled oats. Besides, that is really expensive. Buying in bulk for us, especially when we go through them quite quickly, is really important. And I'll just show you, there's another day here where I can go down and just shop my little pantry and larder. Home canned items are super for this. So we do have some of our canned items that I use to make like homemade pizzas and pizza sauce, or if I need a restock upstairs with some of our other supplies like my decaf coffee I stored down there. I'm going to be making something with peanut butter, refilling my peanut butter jar. So just being able to grab a basket off the wall, grab what I need, and take it up to the kitchen is something I really enjoy, and also just find security in. No, food is not our end-all, save-all, but it is important to me to know that I do have a well-stocked pantry that would last my family many months if we were in dire straits. And actually this box that I'm restocking is canned tuna. We eat a lot of meat, deli meats, and like I showed you, like a ground meat sandwich, so tuna salads, beef salad, ham salad, salmon patties, things like that that are canned that can be easy to grab off a shelf and make. I am a mix of a half-hearted meal planner and a full-blown write-it-all-out day-to-day meal planner. There's weeks where I just have a tentative idea of what I'm going to make, and weeks where I will just kind of go by what I have in my fridge and pantry. So I'm prepared to make what I can for my family. And on this night, it is our breakfast for supper night. So I'm making a baked oatmeal with those rolled oats you saw me get out earlier in the video. And so just being prepared during the afternoon nap time to have our supper meal ready for the family. And of course, we've always got like milk in the fridge, eggs in the fridge, and fruit is hit and miss on what we have fresh, but it is strawberry season, so definitely enjoying the fresh produce. And I eat usually more of what's in season. Not always the case, but when something is in season, it tastes so much better. It just is a joy to eat during that time because you get it during that season. I'm not one to go buy strawberries in the middle of the winter because they're really expensive and they just don't taste good. So I am baking a baked oatmeal with strawberries, and so that's just something that I enjoy doing, is preparing food for my family. There's moments where I just have to enjoy the beauty of our outdoor space while the kids play. I love flowers. You can tell that, I think, but I enjoy it. And getting my afternoon latte in, clipping some of the roses, admiring some of the flowers that are all in bloom, and just hearing the kids play is such a joy to me. I just want to tell you guys, I am not a doomsday prepper by any means, but I want to relish in the moments we have. And just when things in our economy have been not great for some time, we sometimes just think about, we can get down on ourselves. But I just want to encourage you to enjoy the moments. Be prepared as well with your heart, mind, what you have around you and for your family, but also just relish in those simple little things that bring you joy. As the storm rolls in, I enjoy making my red raspberry leaf tea, which I start drinking being pregnant, 3rd trimester. So I buy that in bulk, and many of the items, if you're wondering where I get these from, I will link in the description box, or I'll be writing a blog post about the food I have in my pantry or the items that I keep on hand for emergency preparedness things as well. But that will be either coming out in the future or will be out. So enjoying just the candles, my roses, and my tea. The sun is rising on a new day. Being prepared in the moments. So if you have company coming over or you just need to get your house in order, being prepared with keeping it tidy and having a cleaning schedule. I am one who enjoys cleaning different spaces on different days. So this day in particular is our living room cleaning day. So I tidy up. Kids will help me dust with their little dusters. Each one got their own personal little duster that they're very proud of. We got $2 a piece from our local hardware store. Bright colors, fun for them, but tidy up first, let them dust, and teach them to run a vacuum or just do something to help around the house. And that's what I do with my kids. They are 6, 4, and 2, and so not everybody can help in the same aspects, but just seeing them watch you clean, take care of the home, it really just sets them up for success, and it prepares them as well for being caregivers of the home. People by now who have watched me for a while know I enjoy making things with sourdough. So if you're going to do sourdough, you definitely have to prep it hours before so you can use it later on if you need the active sourdough starter. So just being mindful of when I'm going to use my sourdough starter is important for me. So if I'm going to make something during nap time or that evening, I will feed it mid-morning and be ready to make something in the evening. So that's what I'm doing now, just preparing, also preparing for the rest of my day. I am a paper planner. I write things down, schedules, things I want to get done that day. So paper it is, and it helps me just prepare again for the day or the week or the month or whatever I enjoy doing. And again, I'll link that planner for you in the description box because it's just from Amazon, but I have used it for years and I really enjoy it. Taking care of my weeding is a good way to prepare my garden for full potential and growth, especially around all the herbs and plants that I want to either dry or use for future. Things like weeding can really get out of hand if we don't do it on a weekly, sometimes multiple times a week schedule. And so just taking some moments here and there to weed while the kids play outside, enjoying the sunshine before it gets too hot in the later summer months, and just being mindful of what I need to care for in my outdoor space too, and caring for the home and making sure that, again, the flowers and the herbs and the produce get to their full potential, and taking that time to weed. So this lovely binder of random recipes I've had with me since college. I created a binder of recipes that I wanted to try, ones I really liked. It is not in the best condition and it's not greatly organized, but I do try to print off recipes and keep them in this binder that we use and like regularly, because there may be times when my internet goes down, I won't be able to have access to it, but I know I have it in my paper binder, so I can pull out the recipe and just be able to whip up that recipe. Not everything is going to stick with me in my mind for what I've made, that is for sure. So I like just having them printed out, and I needed to do that a little bit better with organizing it, putting them into sleeves so they don't get so gross, and that could be a goal for a winter month. This time of year, it's hard to do a lot inside and do all those paperwork things and filing and more stuff inside when it's so beautiful outside, and I want to spend so much time outside with my kids and in the garden. But this recipe I've shared with you before. It is a gluten-free chocolate banana muffin, and it's just one we like having around for snacks every once in a while. I don't make it super often, but it's just one that we enjoy and one that I find enjoyable lately. I've been eating it actually as a dessert after our evening meal with some peanut butter on top. It's hitting the spot. It must be a pregnancy craving or something. But anyways, I'll link that for you as well. But just having snacks, again, prepared that are homemade, have a little more nutrition in them as well than a prepackaged snack. Some things I also keep stocked for when we host or have friends over is gluten-free friendly flours. Almond flour, coconut flour, a gluten-free mixed flour, because we do have friends and family who are either celiac or just conscientious about not eating that because of irritabilities. So I do like to have that in my pantry. Plus, these muffins are great and they require almond flour and a little bit of coconut flour. I also keep oats, which you can make into oat flour. And then I do use einkorn berries and einkorn flour because I do grind my own flour now. And so einkorn seems to suit several people well too. So I wanted to be ready for mosquitoes, bugs, insects, scratches, bruises. So I'm going through my basket of medicines and emergency kit things for all those incidences that may occur. I do a lot of homeopathic remedies. I have those little capsules that are in that green container. I ordered that pack from Amazon just to have for purposes of teething or stomach bug, or that it can help with little things that may occur internally as well. And I'm a proponent of doing things naturally and ourselves to the best of our abilities until we may need further assistance. But I do want to go through and see what else I've got, what else I need to clear out, what has expired, what I need to refresh for this season. There is Kids Relief Allergy Medicine that I found a good brand I like. I also have cold and flu season medicines. I like the Zarbee's cough and cold remedies for kids, but just making sure I have those things stocked for when it is necessary for that time. And now this will be something that I will be writing a newsletter if you subscribe to my email that I send out through my blog, daviekillian.com, that you can receive for yourself, for your family, and for your kids. It will be something that will be coming out in the near future just to have for yourself, for your preparedness, if you are interested in having that. So make sure you go to my blog and subscribe to, I usually send out about a monthly email with snippets of my life, maybe an extra recipe, some lists of things that I like doing or need, or you might need for your life. And this one would be one that I would love having on hand, even just for myself, to remind myself of what I use. So definitely go subscribe if you are wanting more inspiration and encouragement and preparedness ready as a homemaker and mama. I do use essential oils quite regularly in our family, whether diffusing, whether rolling on, whether taking in a veggie capsule. You find reputable sources of essential oils and use them. I think they are great assets for certain instances. I use a flu balm every time I feel a cold or stomach issues coming on, and it works great. Of course, being pregnant, I changed that up a little bit to what I ingest just to be cautious. And so I do like using the oils and diffusing that all throughout the day in my home, as well as putting little drops in a roller bottle to make for ear infections, or I make a lavender roller bottle that you'll see me make here every night. I put it on my wrist before I go to bed and practice my Bradley method breathing for giving birth, and I've done that all 4 pregnancies. So that seems to just calm me, get me in the mindset for my labor as well. And I'm also going to be making a citronella bug spray that I found off of ouroilyhouse.com. I'll link that in the description box for you. But I like using natural, like I said, to the best of my abilities, and just making things from scratch, even for the health, is very important to me. When making your own DIY roller bottles or sprays, essential oil, creams, it requires having things on hand that you just keep stocked. So like witch hazel, this one requires apple cider vinegar, which I have plenty of because I use that to make pickles in the summer. And then also having like fractionated coconut oil, having just other items that may be required is nice to have to fill those essential oil bottles as well. This is definitely a must for us, especially when we are going to be out and about. On a day we travel to our local city to do grocery shopping or run other errands, is snacks, or church, honestly, for the little kids. We do get processed snacks, and again, this is something I will probably put a list out on my email to say all the go-to snacks I have that are prepackaged. RX bars are great. There are limited ingredients. These are the breakfast bars. They suit my littler kids better. Beef sticks, organic fruit snacks, edamame beans, little things like that that are easy to throw in a diaper bag or in a purse to prepare for when the kids get hungry is really important to have. So I just fill my little jar in my canister. I order some of these items from Amazon because sometimes it's easier to get it shipped to your door than it is to go out and try to source these items. So that is what I do for my prepackaged snacks, and it's just so handy to have those on hand, especially for the summer months when we're out and about a little bit more. So like I said earlier, I do make homemade snacks and love serving that to my kids when we're home. But the processed ones and the prepackaged ones are very handy for those busier days. All right, it was time to restock our little battery holder and container. And so I ordered the Amazon Basics brand batteries. They've gotten us through for years, and I wanted to refill my little container. Batteries are something we go through often, especially those AA and AAA batteries. So I just filled that, and this canister was a gift to us, which I am loving. So that is filled and prepared, and also being prepared with just having the snacks done while supper is cooking. This is more of just being thoughtful with your time. So little boy is taking a bath, and it is my bathroom cleaning day. So I'm taking some time to just wipe it down a little bit while he is in the bathroom having a good old time playing in his tub. So just more of like knowing you got a little extra time, you got 5-10 minutes, and you can get some cleaning done. So that's more of a dual purpose, just being practical with your time. And I try to do that often. So getting the bathroom wiped down. After bath snuggles and getting changed for bed are always such a joy. The kiddos are down for bed, and I am enjoying just the quietness of folding laundry on our bed and just thinking about whatever has occurred that day, whatever has happened, just reflecting on the day or listening to a podcast, enjoying my tea while I fold. Sometimes I'll do the laundry in the living room, and my husband and I will talk while we both fold laundry. But sometimes it's also just nice to be in the rooms where the laundry is going to go and fold the laundry. But I enjoy the process of getting laundry done, and that's something that I plan ahead with too, is just making sure to do a load of laundry a day, sometimes 2, sometimes 3, depending on how much else needs to get done with sheets or towels or clothes. But I hope you enjoyed coming along and just hearing about what I do to prepare for the moments, for the future, and for some of those unexpected things, but just being ready and having the mindset and heart to be prepared.